In this recording in our series of face milling operations, we'll continue with talking about the hatch technology page. Now, if we take a look, our first option is talking about the actual angle that it will be using when it goes across the part. We have user-defined angle, where you can define the exact angle that you want it to go on the part itself. Or we can have automatic optimal angle, where it will align itself according to the length and width, the way it's sitting on your machine. With the automatic optimal angle, you can also deviate it with a delta from the optimal. This, by the way, is used as default, but you also have the option of user-defined, where you have complete control of the actual angle that you want it to go across. Next, we have cutting direction. We have two options, either one way, where one way it will go across, then go back, then start from that same side, and then do the next step and the next step. Whereas zigzag, it will go across, and then do a side step, and then go back to the side that it started from, again doing another side step, so on and so forth. We also have cutting order. You can go from side to side or side to middle. Side to middle will go from each side and then work its way towards the middle. Now, when you're working from side to side, you have an option of also telling it where would you like to have your start point. And you can see we have 4 different options indicating these 4 sides where it can, these 4 corners where it can start working. You can simply switch it to over here and it will start at this bottom corner. Switch it to over here, it'll start on the right top corner. I'll just leave it at the default for now. Next, we'll go to extensions. We have 2 options in extensions. One is for along and one is for across. Along is how far past the part do you want it to go as it's cutting along. That'll also start that much outside the part. In other words, in this particular case, we have 10% of the tool will pass the beginning of the stock and also end 10% past as well. We also have across. Across controls how much on the side from the middle of the tool do you want it to start. It's set at 0, and that usually people leave it at that. Now, we also have corners. How do you want the corners to attach? We have the option of none, where we just go directly to one line to the next, or we can actually do a fillet, where it will fillet itself from one to the other, and we automatically say what the fillet is to make it a complete fillet. However, you can put in any fillet that you want. One more option is also roll in. Roll in will actually control if you want to roll in to the part instead of going directly into the part itself. So now I'm going to just set up a sample pass using the technology of hatch at 30% diameter step over. And in the hatch page, I'm going to set it up that it is user defined as 0, cutting zigzag from one side to the next, starting at the bottom, and leaving these default values here, and using also a fillet connection. I'll do save and calculate. And now let's take a look at the simulation itself. At the bottom over here, I can go directly to simulate, and I'm going to use the default simulation. If we take a look now at one step at a time, you'll see the tool will go down, go across, and continue going across on the part itself. Let's take a look now at a zoom in at these tool paths. You can see when it got to the end, it actually did a full radius connection, as I had mentioned. Let's take a look at a different type of simulation such as the host CAD simulation, where if I start my first step, it will go down, go across. You can see now from the top view that it's going just past the stock itself. And we're talking about, again, their cutter tip. And then it finishes the entire part, as I had mentioned before. In our next recording in this series, we'll continue on with the option of contour technology.